Welcome to the first inaugural version of the Up the Middle, where we're neither left nor right, actually somewhere fair and balanced in what we talk about. Disregard the president in the background. That's just one of the uh, desktop screensavers that pops up throughout the day. So, with this being the very first show, very first time we're doing this, I hated the concept. I'm glad that I'm out of politics, in that, as many of you know, because you know me from this show, you know me from the Doggy Traders as the host of that every Friday afternoon. Um, I was glad that I'm out of politics, that's all done with my life because there was just so much phony that I saw, especially, with some of the media coverage of many of the historic events that I'd been to. And now I'm just laying with last week, and we'll talk about this in a minute. I had to put down one of my two dogs, and I was just earlier today laying on my bed with the other dog, and I'm contemplating, so much of the things that are happening, especially with the Republican Party. What a shit sandwich. So I don't think that enough people are really getting a full taste of the shit sandwich that is the Republicans right now, especially right now. There's so many that we're going to talk about eventually, but with today, and earlier this week, is just, yeah. So first, I need to do something that I don't like doing, and that is talking about myself. I did, speaking of Republicans, anytime they do that, it's just a crazy level of arrogance, filled with lies, which is something I'm never going to do to you. And what I'm going to tell you about and show you about now, is just basically me. So you have an idea as to what level of expertise there actually is when I say what I say. First, going way back, class of '95. I graduated in, actually the summer. I guess it would technically be August. I don't even remember. I didn't. I didn't walk. I didn't do any ceremony. I didn't want to. I wanted to move on with my life. Kind of like my departure from the Secret Service, which we'll talk about in a second. I wanted to just I was actually on my way to professional baseball, and that was remember Doggy Traders. There's a mastiff running around that way. Anyway, I was on my way to professional baseball, and I was all about that. So, but I did for 5 years study history, particularly presidential politics and presidential history, uh, and then the poli sci, presidential politics and constitutional law. There he is. You saw him just lay down. That's Matrix. He was my one of the two muses to start this show, and so I did use my degree for 21 years. After baseball, I get into law enforcement. Oh, got to sit up. I get into law enforcement. Spent 21 years with the Secret Service, where I saw a lot of the different things that we'll eventually be talking about. I was there. So when I see people like saying all kinds of just not accurate things, they're talking heads. You saw the show, the thumbnail that's going to go on YouTube and wherever else, and just you see that usually when you create a thumbnail like that, that center part, would be off to a side, and then you have the rest of the space to create whatever it is for that particular episode. Well, because we're up the middle, my face, my those two mics, you notice the one on the left is slightly blue, as is the arrow pointing up, and the mic on the right is slightly red, as is the arrow pointing up, and that white giving us red, white, and blue, in the middle arrow, along with the Talk TV 24, where you're watching us from right now, probably. This is going to be every Wednesday, 1:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. And yeah, we got some European friends watching, 23:30 Central European time. I'm your host, Yergz, anywhere you want to be at Talk TV 24. Today, we're going to talk about this guy. No, not Santos yet, but Moby. That was one of my two buddies. Uh, 12 years ago this summer, that dog that you see to the right as you're looking at the screen, the lighter colored, came into my life as a puppy. I already had a Rottweiler at the time, and was fine just with a Rottweiler. But a friend of mine couldn't keep Moby anymore, and he asked me to help out. He said, "What am I going to do?" What happened was he was getting returned to him, Moby's half older sister. Same dad, different mom, was born 6 months older than he was, or earlier than he was. And the guy was all like me, was also single, or he was actually newly single, and just didn't have the support system that I did. So I said, "Give him to me, and we'll foster him. I'll foster him until we find a better home." And foster daddy just became daddy, and sadly, later that same year, Anton, my Rottweiler, passed away from cancer. And so it was kind of a blessing in that I wasn't left alone. And yeah, Moby was with us for 12 years of his life, 12 years and 13 days till he passed away and left us across the Rainbow Bridge, as so many of my friends say. A week ago tomorrow, it'll be a week tomorrow that we had to make that decision, but it was the right decision. The quality of his life was down to zero. The very last night, I had to give him 3 Benadryls, one at 2, one at 4, and then again at 6 in the morning, just so he could get some sleep and have some comfort. And that's not how that dog. I tried to upload a video, but it was captured with my iPhone, which means it's a movie file, and I wasn't able to transfer it over to an MP4, which is what our StreamYard uses. These guys, we're using StreamYard to get out to the rest of the world. Um, you can find us anywhere you want to be on Talk TV 24. So Moby, yeah, 12 years and 13 days. One of the 4 namesakes. I love dogs. My first dog was when I lived with mom and dad. We had a family. We, as a family, had Raquel. She was a chocolate lab that during one of the summers, I think between my second and third year of college, the house caught fire. And we all made it out into the front porch. We did a head count. We were all there except for Raquel. And so we all went back into a burning building after that dog. She was awesome. Then next for me was Anton. I got him during my time in the Secret Service, and yeah, he was, being gay, he was a dude magnet. I got to meet a lot of good-looking guys because of him. And then later in life, Moby and Matrix came along. Matrix is right down here on the floor. All 4 of them, all 4 of them are the namesakes for the Doggy Traders, my Friday afternoon show where we talk about day trading and crypto investing in either of those brands. Anywhere you want to be, that's them there. We go live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, Telegram, and YouTube. For today, we're actually not on Telegram or Twitch. We don't have accounts for this brand there yet. But we're on multiple Facebook accounts today, as well as multiple YouTube. So we're getting out and we're going to grow. And I'm excited to be doing this, actually, for as much as I don't want to be in the political thing. I think this is something that, a viewpoint that needs to be brought out. Also on television soon. We're not there yet, but these are the brands you can look for us. Apple TV, Android TV, Apple iOS, Android operating system, Roku, and Fire. So sorry, it's allergy season here in rural Florida. And yeah, there it is. Maybe. So anyway, Moby left us on 5/4/23 at 12 years and 13 days. And rest in peace, buddy. Thank you for those pretty awesome 12 years, kid. Matrix is also in that picture. He's the black brindle, and he's got some issues too with his digestive system. He's got what's called mega esophagus, And yeah, so he's got some special needs that we take care of, and now, with his big brother gone, some more special needs we are not shy about dealing with. I take him everywhere we go. Um, so next up, I saw one Facebook posts. I forget exactly what it was, but essentially, the jury came back that Trump was found. It's a civil suit, so he's not guilty, but he is uh, responsible for the rape of E. Jean Carroll, and she was paid to the tune of or will be paid to the tune of 5 million. I'm not sure how that's exactly going to work out because we know he's going to stall it as much as possible. But then, in addition to that, Santos, going around saying, "I am not a crook," with that Nixon-esque photo that we found there for today. By the way, anytime we do like if you go back to the thumbnail and you see the photo of Santos, I could have easily found some shitty looking photo and make him look crappy. That's not what we're going to do here. If we're going to talk badly about you, we're still going to, make a some sort of effort to give you a decent look, and try to tell some sort of both sides. By this point, we know this guy's a bullshitter. I mean, we're also not going to mix words here, um, and for him to try and give the whole "I am not a crook" thing is bullshit. He's a lying piece of shit. Everybody knows that, and literally everybody knows that now. And we're going to see him very much alone. One of our There we go. Let's get rid of that for a minute. We're going to see him very much alone throughout the course of whatever is left of his political career. He was formally arrested today by federal authorities. 2 hours ago, he pled not guilty to 13 federal charges. Well, good luck with that. So more on that, more on Trump. We will be, if you go back to the thumbnail, Moby was the left side today, but we will be taking a look at things on the left as well. You see President Biden is being looked at for alleged actions while he was vice president. I'm fascinated to see how many Republicans are pointing that out, pointing out, and are worried about Hunter Biden, who has never been in public office, yet they seem to be okay with Jared Kushner and how many billions of dollars that he raked in from, I think it was it the UAE or whoever it was in the Middle East, while his father-in-law was a sitting president, and he did that while having an official role in that government. So one thing's okay and the other isn't. We don't get that here at Up the Middle, and that's not how we're going to roll. So we're going to call it out too, and we'll take a look at that and probably take a look at both of them next week. So till then, our usual thing is trade crazy, trade safe, but that's the doggy traders. I was actually talking to a friend right before I went on the air. We're not leaning left. We're not leaning right. We're right up the middle, and that can be any innuendo that you want. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching every week right here at Talk TV 24. See you again next week.